Hello, welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, İlham Məmmədov. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva viewed conditions created at the Maternity Hospital No. 2 in Bakıxanov settlement of Sabunçu district of Baku after a major overhaul.
Hoş geldin. Hoş geldin. Hoş geldin.
The country is taking important steps aimed at developing the healthcare system, strengthening its material and logistical base, human resources and upgrading infrastructure. The projects implemented in this area at the initiative of the head of state serve to ensure the reliable protection of people's health. Maternity Hospital No. 2 was built and commissioned in 1987. As a result of long-term operation, a need for a major overhaul arose. In 2019, for the reconstruction of the maternity hospital, repairs began at the medical facility. The overhauled medical institution with 120 beds will provide citizens with both outpatient and inpatient services. Maternity Hospital No. 2, which previously functioned under the Ministry of Health, since 2021 is subordinate to public legal entity Sabunçu Medical Center. In our country, the necessary work is also being carried out to protect the health of mothers and children, and important projects are being implemented in this area. The major overhaul of Maternity Hospital No. 2 is another good example of this. In general, in the three-story building of the medical institution, there are 51 chambers, maternity ward, gynecology, resuscitation departments. The new healthcare facilities under construction in Azerbaijan and the modern medical equipment supplied to our country primarily serve one purpose: to fulfill an important mission, such as protecting the health of the population of Azerbaijan. Invaluable merits in this process belong to the Heydar Aliyev Foundation. The protection of the health of the population, in particular of mothers and children, is one of the priorities of the foundation. Measures taken directly on the initiative of the President of the Foundation, First Vice President of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, are aimed at protecting our genetic material and fundamentally solving problems in the healthcare sector.
In accordance with the combat training plan of the current year, the preparation process for the new training period continues in the types of troops, army corps formations, and military units of the Azerbaijani army, the Ministry of Defense reported. Due to the beginning of the new training period, drill reviews were held in the military units, material and educational bases, training grounds, military equipment, military personnel's weapons, and combat provisions were inspected. In order to maintain a high level of combat readiness, the training process in Azerbaijani army is organized and held in accordance with the requirements of the Supreme Command-in-Chief, orders and decrees of the Minister of Defense, and with the consideration of the combat experience gained in the Patriotic War, the ministry added. First summit of the youth network of the non-aligned movement, which was established in October last year, took place in Baku. The final day of the summit, which lasted for 3 days, was organized in Shushar. At the end of the summit, with participation of more than 60 representatives, the youth network of the non-aligned movement was named as Youth Organization.
The last session of the year summit of the non-aligned movement, which kicked off on July 25, took place in Shusha. Participants of the summit adopted the documents which were agreed upon at the Baku session. According to the document, called Shusha Accord, the youth organization of the institution was established based on the youth network of the non-aligned movement. The charter of the youth organization, the permanent secretariat will be located in Baku, and the organization logo and flag were also approved within the Shusha session of the summit.
Youth representatives of the non-aligned movement member states actively participating in the summit generally appreciated their role positively supporting the transformation of the youth network into an organization. It's already a general decision of the summit that the role of the youth of the member states of the non-aligned movement should be increased in international processes, and a new international platform should be established for this use.
As part of the event, views for exchange in regards to the results of the Youth Summit of non-aligned movement and the future endeavors of the youth organization.
To be represented in this organization is important not only for the participating countries but for the world. I'm sure that in the future the youth organization of the non-aligned movement will become a voice in a number of events taking place in the world.
After the end of the session, the guests viewed the fortress walls of Şuşa and learned about the shot status of prominent cultural figures of Azerbaijan, Khurshidbanu Natavan, Bülbül, and Üzeyir Hacıbəyli, and the city square. The museum mausoleum complex of Molla Pənah Vaqif was also visited. The guests were also informed about the damage Armenians caused to our historical and cultural monuments during their occupation. Later, the participants visited Cıdırdızı Plain and enjoyed the pleasant scenery under the sounds of muğam.
The Central Bank of Azerbaijan kept the refinancing rate intact. The bank's board of directors decided to keep the refinancing rate at 7.75%. The lower limit of the interest rate collar remained at 6.25%, while the upper limit of it accounted for 9.25%. Taleh Kazımov, chairman of the Central Bank, informed about it during the online press conference. He said that the strategic currency reserves continue to grow against the background of the surplus balance of payments. This creates grounds for the balance of the foreign exchange market in the medium and long term. Azerbaijan is one of the few countries where the current transaction balance surplus exceeds by 20% the gross domestic product. This indicators also affect the stability of the refinancing rate. The necessary steps were taken by the Health Ministry in order to fulfill the relevant decree of the head of state. One of the main objectives is to provide financial support and accessibility to high-quality medical services for citizens. In this regard, the working group of the Healthcare Transformation Center regularly refers to international experience. Well-known expert Francesco Paolucci came to Azerbaijan at the invitation of the Ministry of Health. Within the framework of the visit, 2-day trainings were organized with specialists working in the field of healthcare. That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.